Back out comes Cradily, and there is no baiting, trying to nuke the opponent through 2 Protect Shields. The opponent shows no respect, near get one shot, out comes Ampharos, and again, with full sending, does the opponent respect the damage? Well, you're going to have to watch the video to find out, so welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, right? Around 10 days, probably the longest break I've ever taken from YouTube, but we're back at it in Season 19 with more Triple Shadow shenanigans. And today we're starting off with a shoutcast from Mew3. He's running a very fun Empoleon double fighter strategy, similar to what I sent to Callum on Toast. I was using Gallade, he's using another glass cannon in the form of Toxicroat. We're going to keep the intro short and sweet. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we've got some Penguin on Alligator action. Back in the day when Empoleon ran Waterfall, this would be a good matchup. Now, not so much. We fire off 7 Steel Wings and the Hydro Cannon for optimal fast move timing, gaining us early shield advantage. Mew3 going to respect the potential Shadow Ball. The opponent baits us with the disarming voice. We do not play to CMP. It looks like Mew3 happy to just tank the charge move and look to get ahead in energy with Sneasler. Out comes Sneasler. Sneasler will be looking for the 1 shield Shadow Claw farm all the way down, and then it is nuke time. Despite this being the Ultra League, let me tell you, Sneasler is insanely glassy. We're already down below half health. Out comes Typhlosion, and we're forcing the close combat. Close combat goes shielded. However, don't worry, there's plenty more of where that came from. The second close combat secures the knockout. Get that Typhlosion off my screen. The opponent's final Pokemon is for Alligator Toxicroat, also not particularly thick, as the opponent isn't running the Shadow variant. Toxicroat tanks the damage, reaches the Shadow Ball, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. What a way to get back into shoutcasting. In the next battle, we see a dreadful lead. We see the save switch into Sneasler, drawing out Charizard. Oof. The opponent settles for a non-stab Dragon Claw, and you can see just how glassy Sneasler is, as that did a lot of damage. However, we hang on return fire with the close combat. Close combat forces us early shield advantage, and we now find ourselves in the bait game. Back out comes the Penguin. Mew3 looks to call the bait. The opponent masturbates like an absolute potato, killing a poor defenseless cat. Surely this one's the Blast Burn. It looks like we're going to call it again. Holy, last second. We correctly shielded the Blast Burn. Mew3, you are giving me anxiety. We fire off the Drill Peck. Drill Peck secures the knockout, and we've got a Drill Peck waiting for the returning Poliwrath. Back out comes Poliwrath. Drill Peck forces the Protect Shield, and it's all down to Toxicroat to clean up. Poliwrath did 2 counters before pivoting, so this is enough for a Scald. Mew3 again calls the bait. What a call. Icy Wind just doesn't get the job done, and out comes Aggron. Is this winnable? I think Toxicroat's going to sweep. We go for the undercharge. Mud Bomb secures the knockout. Back out comes Poliwrath. The opponent looks for the resisted. Counter farm down. Toxicroat says no, and that is going to be all she wrote. Very, very well played. Heading into the next battle, we see the big bulky jellyfish, which is somewhat of a problem for this team. The opponent farms up some energy, then send out Dragalge. Mew3 gonna fire off the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace hits for neutral. Close combat is resisted, but will do more damage this time. We're full sending the close combat. Close combat, please knock out. Oof, unfortunately, it doesn't secure the knockout. Mew3 happy to leave Dragalge in the red and get some farm. Likely on Empoleon, not looking to reveal our third. Mew3 waits out his clock, sends out Empoleon. Empoleon does get the Steel Wing farm down. However, this still looks pretty dire, to be honest. We have 0 fast move pressure into this big bulky fish. We correctly shield the Shadow Ball, which is a good start. Mew3 then fires off 4 Steel Wings and the Drill Peck for optimal fast move timing. 2 turn into 3 turn. You always want to threat 1, 4 or 7. Drill Peck landed. And we've actually got this jellyfish into the red. Mew3 correctly shields the Shadow Ball once again. Can we get the Steel Wing farm down? Yes, however, we are going to have to tank a Surf, which is resisted. However, we've managed to get rid of this threat. However, we are down 2 Protect Shields. Although not for long, as this Hydro Cannon likely forces the opponent's first Protect Shield, which it does. We bank a Hydro Cannon and pivot into Toxicroat. Toxicroat not going to appreciate this Thunder Punch, gets us below half health. Toxicroat then fires off 1 counter and the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb will be forcing the final Protect Shield. If the opponent can Volt Switch farm us down, we're in trouble. The opponent actually gets scared, dump energy, giving us a wink on. Mew3 says thank you very much. Hydro Cannon gonna be massive overkill. If they would have Volt Switch farmed us down, Ampharos has a 164 attack compared to the Penguins 161, but Mew3 Steel Wing farms down Jellicent, and we take that game. The tough leads continue. Annihilate, not what we want to see. We see the save switch into Sneasler. The opponent tries their luck at catching an Aerial Ace or Aerial Ass onto Skarmory. Mew3 shows great composure, holds his energy, fires off the first close combat. Holy crap, that did a lot. That was only neutral. Sneasler now fires off the Aerial Ace, forcing a Protect Shield. The opponent looks for the Steel Wing farm down, which they get. However, the Penguin going to be a very good wall to whatever the opponent throws. The opponent fires off the Brave Bird, the Penguin holds strong and gets the Steel Wing farm down. Switch timers are misaligned. We see Mew3 spamming the switch. Out comes Toxicroat. The opponent farms up to a potential Shadow Ball. Mew3 thinks about calling it last second, gets baited with the Night Slash, and out comes Gliscor. Oof. This is hard counter city. Can we still find a win con? We fire off the Shadow Ball rocks Gliscor into the red, and we see the instant no shield deployed. The opponent fires off the Night Slash. Mew3 isn't lagging, he's just stopped attacking. And that is because we need to reach double Drill Peck against the returning ape. Of course, we're going to have to respect the Earthquake. There's zero reason to bait. The opponent full sends the Earthquake, and we're now tasked with tanking a Night Slash. This is non-stab. Penguin, please be tick. Unfortunately, the opponent running a triple hard counter team. But Mew3 made that physically as close as he possibly could. In the next battle, we see Dragon Breath Gary in the lead. Not particularly bad for our Penguin. The opponent fires off the Crunch. Crunch does a lot of damage as the Penguin, despite being the bulkiest member of the team, literally cannot tank a hit to save its life. We see the save switch into Sneasler, and the opponent also running Toxicroat. We go straight for the Aerial Ace on the CMP type. Aerial Ace forces that Protect Shield. We can easily just match shields and continue to play to CMP. It takes Toxicroat 6, 6, 6, then 5 to the Mud Bomb. So again, we throw 6 Shadow Claws, and the Aerial Ace. Does the opponent want to 2-shield in the mid game? They do not. Toxicroat gets knocked out, back out. Comes Gary. Gary looks for the Dragon Breath farm down, but Sneasler says no. Reach the departing Aerial Ace, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Gyarados does get the Dragon Breath farm down. We send out Toxicroat, which will tank any one move. The opponent fires off the Aqua Tail. Toxicroat looks for the counter farm down. The opponent send out the big thick boy and then concede the match. GG's. Heading into the next battle, we see Swampert in the lead. Our team is triple weak to ground. However, I do think you can run triple weak to ground in the Ultra League, as other than Mod Shot, you don't really get any Mod Slap use or any ground type fast move pressure. We managed to gain ourselves early shield advantage. The opponent baits with the Hydro Cannon. Mew3 has huge cojones and he is calling bait after bait today. Mew3 takes his shield advantage, sends out Toxicroat. Hopefully Toxicroat can one shield and counter farm all the way down. It's going to be close. This is Shadow on Shadow Crime. The opponent not wanting to see if they can reach another Hydro Cannon, give up switch, sending out Typhlosion. Typhlosion tanks the Mud Bomb. Toxicroat looks for the counter farm down, which we get, and leaves with residual energy good to go. The opponent sends out Venusaur. Venusaur instantly greeted with the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and this should just be game over from here. The opponent is going to be forced to throw Frenzy Plant, or anything to be honest, deep in the red. Will knock out despite being resisted. Out comes Sneasler. Sneasler, much like its partner in crime Toxicroat, due to its poison typing, does resist everything in Venusaur's arsenal, but ouch, that hurt. Frenzy Plant rocks us below half health. Back out comes Swampert. Swampert gets removed from the battlefield with the Aerial Ace. Mew3 had the Aerial Ace, but it looks like we're going for some bad manners. We shield up the Frenzy Plant. Mew3 then continues to overfarm, fires off the BM close combat, putting the stamp of authority. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see Greninja in the lead. A pretty neutral matchup. They do resist our quick move. We resist theirs. The opponent can hit us for neutral with Night Slashes, and we can hit him with neutral with the Drill Pecks. The opponent save switches into Annihilate. We throw the Drill Peck, obtaining us early shield advantage, and send out Sneasler. Mew3 again showing very good knowledge of the count. Throws the Aerial Ace on the CMP side to a potential Shadow Ball, and that actually knocked out, and that is ridiculous as Aerial Ace is a garbage move. Back out comes Greninja. The opponent tanks the Aerial Ace, and again you can see just how attack weighted Sneasler in, able to win charge attack priority against a very glassy Greninja. Mew3 now sends out Toxicroat. Toxicroat looks for the one shield and farm down. The opponent baits with the Night Slash, not that they're going to reach another move, and out comes Trevenant. Mew3 farms up to the Shadow Ball, baits with the Mud Bomb. Does the opponent fall for the bait? Yes they do, and we're about to see Toxicroat is going to be a Trevenant counter confirmed. The opponent Also bait with the Seed Bomb, but no bait. We'll be saving this opponent's fate. We've got the Shadow Ball locked and loaded. Hi Trevenant, bye Trevenant, GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle. We see the Penguin into Cradily. The opponent says no thank you and save switch into our nemesis of Jellicent. Mew 3 looks to fire off the Drill Peck. Drill Peck goes unshielded. We then see the pivot into Sneasler. And again we're calling the bait. The opponent does bait with a Surf, but it didn't really look like a bait as that Surf did so much damage. Mew 3 would love the opportunity to realign his Pokemon as Toxicroat completely walls Cradily as Fighting does resist Rock and Poison does resist Grass, meaning Toxicroat is a complete wall to it. Mew 3 does look for that realignment, but at the cost of 2 Protect Shields. However, we've got Close Combat looking to force some shields against the returning Cradily. Back out comes Cradily. We fire off the Close Combat looking to nuke the opponent through 2 Protect Shields. The opponent shows no respect. Near get one shot. Back out comes Ampharos. Does the opponent respect the damage? Close Combat finally force a Protect Shield and we send out Toxicroat. We've already seen previously Toxicroat doesn't appreciate these Thunder Punches, but it looks like the opponent's running Trailblaze and Brutal Swing, meaning Toxicroat once again completely walls Ampharos. We then see Mew 3 make a very nice Brutal Swing catch onto the Penguin. You see again, we don't throw a charge move. We counter farm down Ampharos, counter farm down Cradily, and we manage to pick up yet another very well played game. In the next battle, we see Empoleon into Kindra, a very nice lead for us, as the Penguin, due to his water, steel typing, completely walls the opponent. We fire off the Drill Peck, forcing us early shield advantage. Despite us resisting the Outrage, it will do a lot. The opponent actually bait with the Octazooka, and then we see the pivot into Toxicroat. Our Toxicroat save switch is met by Crobat, which is pretty much as bad as it can get, although Shadow Ball will land for a lot of damage. Shadow Ball does get the opponent down to around a third health, but the opponent gets a huge air slash farm down. As we are on the ABB team, it's very nice to bait out the flying type here, so Sneasler doesn't have to see it in the in-game. It looks like we're putting it all on Sneasler. The opponent again baits. Holy crap, people need to stop this terrible masturbating habit, as every time you masturbate, a poor defenseless cat dies. We tank both charge moves, pivot into Sneasler. Sneasler looking primed to sweep. Back out comes Kindra, and we're going for the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. You can see the Dragon Breath damage is absurd. We are getting torn to shreds. The opponent fires off the Octazooka. We get the attack debuff. Of course we do. Sneasler fires off the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace now isn't enough to knock out Sneasler. Looks for the Shadow Claw farm down, which we just about get. Back out comes Poliwrath. We fire off the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace doesn't do a lot whatsoever. Back out comes Empoleon. Is Drill Peck enough to knock out? No! It leaves the opponent deep into the red. The RNG gods are very much smiling on that opponent, and they pick up the dub. In the next battle, we see another dragon in the lead. Again, Empoleon acting like a complete wall. We see the save switch into Jellicent, and this time we don't chip and dip. Instead, opt to go straight into Sneasler. The opponent fires off the Surf, which of course hurts, as everything hurts Sneasler, which cannot tank a hit for shit. We return fire with the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace goes unshielded. Sneasler able to reach Aerial Ace number 2, which will either force switch or a Protect Shield. The opponent looking to realign their Pokemon. I don't think we can shield here, as I think the next Hex will knock out. Mew 3 recognises that, just takes his shield advantage, sends out Toxicroat. Toxicroat will be looking for the one shield, double resisted counter farm all the way down, and get some Mud Bombs ready for the likely return in Dragalge. Back out comes Dragalge. We fire off the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb goes unshielded, and look at the damage. We then see the pivot into the Penguin, looking to catch the potential Outrage. The opponent falls into the Outrage. The Penguin withstands the damage. Out comes Greedent, and the opponent concedes the match. In the next battle, we see Dr. Squidward in the lead. Despite us having the ability to hit for neutral with the Drill Peck, this isn't actually the best matchup, as Tentacruel has a far bigger stat product, despite them hitting for resisted the entirety of the time. However, this season, Scald only has a 30% chance of getting the attack drop, which probably makes it somewhat more favourable, as if you played this last season, you'd get attack dropped every fucking time, and it'd be very annoying. Although this opponent had no intentions of looking for that 30% chance of an attack drop, instead went for an Acid Spray and a Steel type, which is a pretty strange player for being honest, as Poison is double resisted by Steel. Speaking of strange plays, the opponent Again, opted to Acid Spray our Poison type and then sent out Poliwrath into Sneasler. I'll be honest, I've got no idea what this opponent's doing. We're going to let them cook. Icy Wind does secure the knockout. Mewfree sends out Toxicroat. Toxicroat will be looking for the one shield counter farm all the way down and leave with residual energy good to go. We shield up the Icy Wind. Toxicroat leaves with so much energy. The opponent thinking about what to do. Don't send out the Squid. The opponent sends out the Squid. Mewfree says thank you very much for the free farm. The opponent's final Pokemon is Annihilate. We're able to reach the Drill Peck before the opponent counter farms us all the way down. Drill Peck goes unshielded. The opponent does get a massive counter farm down. We've got the double Mud Bomb bank. The first one will be forcing the Protect Shield, and the second one, well, would have knocked out. The opponent evidently recognised the game's over and just tanked the damage. In the next battle, we see the big chunky Squirrel in the lead. The Squirrel going to be a huge problem for this team. A combination of his bulk, moveset of Mud Shot, Body Slam and Crunch is going to give us a big headache. The opponent of course get the debuff and we're forced to pivot into Sneasler. Sneasler not going to appreciate this Body Slam. Ouch. Body Slam gets us below half health and the opponent sends out Gator. We full send the close combat. Does the opponent respect the damage? Of course they do. We have got energy on the Penguin, but one Drill Peck certainly won't be lethal. Despite it being Shadow on Shadow Crime, Drill Peck, a very underwhelming move. The opponent easily withstand the damage. It looks like we're going to put it all on Toxicroat. The opponent fires off the Crunch, again getting the debuff. 2 for 2 with a 30% chance. You love to see it. Out comes Toxicroat. Of course, we're going to shield up the incoming Hydro Cannon. We know we're going to be fairly decent against Greedent. What is that third? The opponent opts to send back out the Squirrel. Mewfree unwilling to shield up the Body Slam, but Toxicroat didn't appreciate that damage. Mewfree then farms up, fires off the Mud Bomb on the charge attack priority. Mud Bomb does secure the knockout. What is that third? The opponent's final Pokemon? No shot. There is no shot. Toxicroat sweeps. Incineroar. Incineroar shields up the first Mud Bomb. The opponent not going to be able to snarl, farm down Toxicroat, and Toxicroat sweeps the back line. GG's and thanks for playing. Mewfree called the opponent was looking to force our final Protect Shield with the Body Slam. He didn't bite and he managed to save his shield for the Incineroar, meaning we swept the game. In the next battle, hard count on the lead and even more hard count on the save switch. Who the hell runs Slowbro? I'm sure you've heard me say this time and time again, but I'm going to say it again. Empoleon completely walls this energy. Still Water is a very good defensive typing. However, you can see his lack of bulk means even resisted moves do a lot. We fire off the Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon removes Slowbro from the battlefield. The opponent sends back out Ampharos. We fire off one Steel Wing and the Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon goes unshielded and we see the pivot into Toxicroat. Looks like Mewfree feeling frisky, calling no Thunder Punch. Ouch. The opponent's final Pokemon is Abomasnow. I think perhaps in this situation I'd commit to a fast move beatdown as the opponent still has 2 protection, but Mewfree opts to throw a charge move. Toxicroat running out of HP, but Mewfree willing to shield the Icy Wind just to get off as much counter damage as he physically can. We fire off yet another Mud Bomb. The opponent forced to shield. It's now all down to the Penguin to clean up. We should be able to Steel Wing farm this all the way down, or Hydro Cannon Ampharos for the dub, so perhaps throwing a charge move was the correct play. Back out comes Ampharos and Hydro Cannon is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see a Dragon in the lead. This Dragon has a sub-fighting typing and they have access to Brick Break and Close Combat, meaning we don't completely wall them. However, it also means this Drill Peck will be super effective. Drill Peck force the protection, then try our luck at catching a potential Close Combat onto Sneasler unsuccessfully. Sneasler now has to tank a Dragon Claw, and ouch, that hurt. Mewfree can shield up the next Dragon Claw, then overfarm slightly, fire off the Aerial Ace, which will either knock out or force the opponent's final protection. Ball is in the opponent's court, and they go all in on Komo-o. Komo-o does get the Dragon Tail farm down and leave with residual energy good to go. Mewfree waits out his clock, sends out Toxicroat. We see the instant no shield deployed. The opponent fire off the Close Combat that does do slightly more damage despite being resisted and then send out Ampharos. Mewfree fires off 5 counters and the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb isn't quite lethal. Ampharos able to reach a charge move. I'm going to see Mew3 put it all on the Penguin to clean up. Out comes the Penguin. The Penguin looks for the Steel Wing farm down. Heartbreakingly, Ampharos refuses to die, reaches the Brutal Swing, and it's now all shields down. The opponent waits out their clock. They send out Venusaur. We're easily going to be able to outpace to the double Drill Peck, but we need to be mindful the opponent can potentially catch. The first Drill Peck lands. The opponent doesn't make that catch. And it's going to be a race. It's going to be the Penguin versus Komo-o. Can the opponent Dragon Tail farm us down before we reach a charge move? They cannot. And the Penguin manages to 1v3 the team. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we lead the Steel Penguin into Ampharos. Brilliant. We fire off one Steel Wing, transfer the Volt Switch to Sneasler. The opponent safe switches into Jellicent. And this is pretty much where we want to see it. And we've got an energy lead. We fire off the first Aerial Ace. To my surprise, forcing a Protect Shield. The opponent throws on Alignment, giving us a free Shadow Claw, and we're going to see Mew3 invest a Protect Shield back. So if you're the Jellicent in this matchup, or any 3-turn move user into a 2-turn move, you always want to throw on odd numbers. Not 0 or 2 like this opponent's doing. Mew3 looking to take advantage of the opponent's poor fast move timing, able to Shadow Claw farm all the way down and get the opportunity to realign back out. Comes Ampharos, and this time we're baiting. We fire off the Aerial Ace forces the Protect Shield, which means we're going to be able to boom this opponent. Hi Ampharos, bye Ampharos, remove yourself from my screen. The opponent's final Pokemon is Sandslash. We send out Toxicroat. Toxicroat not going to appreciate the drill run, so we catch it back onto the Penguin. Mew3 running rings around this opponent, and the opponent is going to concede the match. Get wrecked. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, my god, Mew3 doesn't win too many leads. We see the safe switch into Sneasler. Sneasler goes straight for the Aerial Ace, looking to get some chip damage onto this Jellicent and put it closer to Drill Peck range for the endgame. The opponent answers Sneasler's safe switch with Venusaur, which is by no means a good response. We fire off the Aerial Ace on the CMP type. Aerial Ace goes unshielded. Mew3 shields up the Frenzy Plant. Again, we're going to throw 6 Shadow Claws and the Aerial Ace on the CMP type and see what the opponent wants to do. Aerial Ace does force a Protect Shield back. I just tank this move and look to Steel Wing farm down. That's exactly what we see Mew3 look to do. Frenzy Plant, despite being resisted, does secure the knockout. We send out the Penguin. Unfortunately, we only get one Steel Wing. However, the Penguin can survive a Shadow Ball from full health. The opponent fire off the Shadow Ball, which does around 60%. Mew3 looks to return fire with the Drill Peck. Drill Peck won't quite be lethal, but will get them very deep into the red. The opponent still going to need to Shadow Ball to secure the knockout. The opponent fires off the Surf. We see the instant pivot into Toxicroat. The opponent sends out Aurorus, and that is going to be game, set, and match. This is the final battle. My first upload in around 10 days. Hopefully you haven't missed me too much. There's plenty of other good content creators, probably far better than me, that you've been able to watch. But if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to leave a like. If you're new, consider subscribing. If, like Mew3, you'd like your battles featured on my channel, a link to my battle submission form is down below. And as always, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.